You're listening to the Dear Next Gen podcast with your host, Cece. This show is brought to you by Montage. We're all about bridging gaps between generations through events, stories, and conversations about real stuff. Enjoy these candid chats, and don't forget, your younger self would be proud.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dear Next Gen podcast. I haven't said that in so long, but for very valid reason. I have been growing a human inside of me, so please forgive me for our absence of the show. We have done episodes that just haven't gone live, that need to be edited and uploaded, and we have other episodes in the queue. It is just a lot of time and energy needed to do the podcast related stuff, and we had exciting things in the works like launching in other cities and another country, even in-person events, which has been really fun to connect. But we're back on the podcast train. We're gonna have, I guess, call it season 3, and we're kind of wrapping up all the little leftover episodes we've had recorded and doing this one going out live because I want to share a little bit about our personal lives and the pregnancy journey and the beginning of that with my guest on the show today. Welcome back, husband.
Hello, I'm back. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. You're the recurring guest so far, and then now, forevermore, I have another little guest, the baby in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, my co-host.
Yeah, little baby boy.
Yes, that was not a big reveal, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's how we do it here.
That was the reveal, straight up.
We could be a little more exciting, but we are excited, and so I just blurted it out.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's kind of nice to just have it out. We also found out a bit earlier than you usually can, so don't even be surprised if in 2 weeks there's a new episode, and it's just titled "It's a Girl." Actually, who knows?
there is a chance that the 16-week ultrasound was misread, and that little thing that we thought was we knew what it wasn't what it was. So
it's not us. The text decide, but you never know. It's hard because it was a surprise to us, so we didn't hear the reasoning or the deduction or what was even seen. It was like the screen was put away and the guy had a serious face on, like full on poker face.
Yeah.
We had no idea what he was doing. It also took a long time. I think you have to come closer. It took a long time for him to get the scan.
Oh yes, he was looking for a while,
which concerns me, but also makes me think he really wanted to be thorough because we couldn't talk out loud to him about it in that moment.
Yeah, he was doing his job and we just had to trust him.
Yeah, for now. But I have heard a lot of stories of people where the gender is wrong, or I've seen posts of people even post their, just kidding, it's something else. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a little update of what the podcast episode is going to be about. We're going to talk about maybe how we found out that we were pregnant.
Sure.
Talk about just the next generation of Montage. I was going to say the next generation of my stomach or of this baby, Gen Alpha baby. And maybe talk about telling people in person what that was like and confidence that came from being able to finally tell people. And maybe at the end I don't know how you could call this, a courtesy tip section on how you can be a good friend to somebody who's pregnant or have a little bit more grace for somebody who's pregnant. I don't know if that's the right way to say.
Yeah, having lived the experience of being pregnant, Cece finally has some first-hand advice on her perspective of how other people perceived and her journey of sharing she was pregnant and people finding out. So we'll get into that.
Yes. It might just turn into me being extremely honest and extremely straight up about things that annoyed me a lot.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We like to give it real here on the podcast, and this is a safe place for that. I definitely am saying everything that we'll say at the end of the show out of love, because if I wasn't now on the other side of being pregnant and telling the world, then I would have done a lot of the same things that other people did that they didn't realize was very frustrating.
Yes, I remember you saying that along the way when you had those interactions or those experiences that maybe rubbed you the wrong way. You're like, oh yeah, I guess I would have treated this situation probably similar if I didn't have
or
that
I might
context.
have done it before, and
Mm-hmm.
who knows. So this is my one time I'm telling you the truth, and you choose what you want to do with that information. If you want to continue to do these things, then you do you, and if you don't because you listen to my advice, then you are so welcome, and I hope that you can make your friends who are having children feel loved and comfortable.
Mm-hmm. As well as your friends who aren't having children and all that. So
Yeah.
just all living.
Want me to give advice for that too? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if we'll get into that, but just we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, no, I think I'll have some people talk about that kind of stuff who's
some
experienced
people can
that.
speak to it.
But okay, why don't we start with you telling everybody how we found out we were pregnant. I have seen so many videos on TikTok, on YouTube, where it's a very cute video. The girl finds out, she does her little pee on a stick, and goes to Target, goes to a store, gets a cute little outfit. I'm sure women have thought about this at some point after seeing, if you've seen a video of this kind, like, oh, it'll be fun to do this. And then the completely opposite happened for me. So why don't you tell that story, because you were there and found out first.
Yes, I was there. So we, for context, had been peeing on, well, she specifically had been peeing on a few sticks that week, both ovulation tests and pregnancy tests, to try and get a good sense of, we already had a good idea of what time what time of that month that she was going to be, that you were going to be ovulating, which is the window of time, which is actually a surprisingly short window of when you're able to get pregnant. So we were trying a few ovulation tests for fun and pregnancy tests, while we were also having fun and trying. So that was good. All kinds of fun.
I was gonna say, I don't know if this is TMI and give a P disclaimer, and then you gave more TMI, so I guess this is not a big deal to talk about going to the bathroom. But I did want to say that I always thought it was you pee on the stick, but to be completely honest, that is so hard to do. I don't think I did it once. No. I actually used the little cup method where you dip it in the cup at a certain...
peed in a clean cup.
Yeah.
And then dip and test.
And then you wait a certain amount. It's a little bit more trickier when you don't do straight like pee on the stick. You have to really read the instructions because every test is different. But my advice is read the instructions, because these tests cost money.
They do. They
do cost quite a bit of money, like $13 or something for the electronic ones.
Yeah, for the pregnancy test, which we used in the end a couple times.
Even the ovulation and the cheap pregnancy like strips, to buy a pack of those, even on Amazon, it added up.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, we tried to be intentional about when we used it.
The fancy ones?
No, even the ovulation one. Like we it wasn't just random. We were doing the tests while we were trying, and we also had a good sense of your timeline of when you're ovulating. So that is a good tip. But yeah, basically you just had to pee like you had normally. But earlier that week you had kind of maybe you'd peed up in the middle of the night or something, or early morning, and then on the second pee of the day is when we tested, when actually they recommend you use the first pee of the morning. It's the most concentrated of the HCG levels, the hormone.
Wow, you know a lot. Did you read the instructions?
Yeah, we both read the instructions.
I was just wondering how you knew this.
You know me. I have a memory.
Oh, you remember.
I'm like a scientist.
I thought you knew before.
I was doing science in the bathroom there on the bathroom floor. It was fun.
Yeah, it looked like a little lab for a whole week, I would say.
Test.
Like it was just kind of, because you do it when you're a bit sleepy, and because you have like the instructions that it's a giant piece of paper opened up that you have to. You're drinking a sleepy time drink. That's why you keep yawning.
Anyways, no need to draw attention to it.
Just in case you can hear it, you just said, "Oh, I'm gonna drink the sleepy drink," and I don't know why it's called that, but I think it's to help you relax.
Yeah, I'm relaxed.
Yeah, it's a great drink. Salud. But anyways, I was gonna say, you mentioned it being a good tip to know your body.
Yes.
And I think tracking your period, your hormones, your symptoms, just in general, is really, really good to know and really good to do. I wish I had done it sooner, especially now that a solution for a lot of skincare and birth control is to take pills. And when you do that, and if it doesn't work out for you, the solution for that is to just stop and take a whole new set of pills. And that can really mess with you. And then you don't even know how to return back to your normal cycle because you never tracked your normal cycle. So if only I had really better tracked my normal cycle, I would have probably been more equipped to try different methods of birth control and then know sooner what wasn't working for me. And I definitely just waited too long because I thought, oh, maybe this is similar to normal. I don't remember. So anyways, that's my make sure you do that advice. It's just download any free app. There's a bunch of free ones. I think I used Orchid, and I've used Flow before, I believe. But there's free ones now. So just use one of those and just put in a little red dot when you have your period. Even if you're on birth control, put in a dot when you take one of your placebo pills if you're doing that. If you're even on an IUD, then I would recommend putting in your symptoms as well, which you can do, like when you're bloated or cramping, etc.
Yeah, everything, all the details. It's like it is science. All the details, all the variables you can put in the system there, and know about yourself will really help. And they did.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't take credit. We feel really grateful for things working out and us getting pregnant as soon and seemingly as easy as we did. But yeah, back to that morning. You woke up and you did your first pee of the day. And you were rushing to the bathroom and you couldn't find the cup, and I kind of stumbled out of bed and grabbed the cup that we'd been
I really wasn't going to wake you up, to be honest.
Oh, right. But you couldn't reach.
I just couldn't reach.
That's
Just
right.
too short. And I had to pee so bad. Stop yawning!
This is an involuntary thing.
I'm not yawning.
Okay, let's not make the whole thing
to
about
make
yawning.
you yawning.
Okay.
To make you yawn. Anyways. Wait, someone just recently told me if you don't yawn when somebody else yawns, you're like a psychopath. Who told us that?
Don't worry about it so much. You're pregnant.
Okay.
None of the rules apply, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
It's all different.
Yeah, so I had to pee so bad, and that's why I woke you up, because I couldn't reach the cups, and I refused to like reuse the same cup, so I was trying to get another paper cup. And what's really funny is 2 of my pregnancy test situations were a Tim Hortons cup and a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do.
What you have.
What I have available. So anyways, let's continue the Tim Hortons cup story.
Yeah, so it was a Tim Hortons cup then, I guess. Yeah, because we had used clear guns, but this one was a Tim Hortons cup that we got for some event that we saved. Anyways, all that to say, successfully, she peed in the cup. I dipped the stick. Maybe you dipped the stick for the appropriate amount of time, set the timer, and Cece went back to sleep because she was tired.
I don't even think I set the timer. It was 5 a.m. and I was exhausted still. And for 5 days before that, or maybe 4 days, it was all negative tests because it was a bit too early. So I figured, oh, this is a bit too early still. I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah, we were trying to keep our expectations low of getting pregnant, first try or whatever in the first week. So, I was still looking, I was still watching, and sure enough, that lovely second line started to faintly appear, and I said, Cece, wake up, come look at this, I think I see something. And what did you see?
I might have a video of it, of me looking, or a video of when we both looked. Oh no, you know what? I don't have a video of this one because I came to see the second line, and because it was a little small paper one, and I was still half asleep.
Right.
And kind of like maybe a little bit grumpy that you made me get out of the bed again. I just got back in the blankets. I was just like shocked, but we did have electronic one that says pregnant or not pregnant and the weeks as well. So you did that one for me.
Yeah, so we followed up the little, dipstick one test that just has the lines. We followed that up with the digital one that tells you pregnant or not pregnant and, roughly.
And it worked.
Week 2 or 3. And it worked.
And I do have a video of that actually. We're just in our pajamas. Very sleepy.
Yeah. So really exciting. And then Did it feel real right away?
No, I think you can see it in the video. We're a bit shocked, but like happy, but smiley, but emotional, and I just don't even know what I thought I would feel when I would feel that, and I really had low expectations, like we talked about, like really low expectations, just because I've had so many random health issues the last 2 years that I thought it's gonna take forever, and this doesn't mean anything yet, but yeah, it felt real when the thing says pregnant, like when the actual like letters come up. I think that's more reassuring than when it's like a line or two or a faint line. And yeah, so after that, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a lot of TikToks where women say when you see your first pregnancy test until your first scan, it is just like trippy. You're just checking your stomach and like looking at it and going, hello, are you in there?
Yeah.
Is this real? Because you have no idea what's happening. Nobody can really help you. All you can do is take more tests. But after a while, there's only so many you can take, and you don't want to scare yourself more or cause more anxiety. So
exactly.
Yeah, luckily I actually had a doctor's appointment already booked for another reason very soon after that.
Right, yes.
So that's actually why we went
to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was essentially our first, maybe sooner than other people would normally have done, but our first sort of confirmation at the doctor that, yes, she was
not
in fact
a confirmation.
pregnant.
No, it was not a confirmation.
Well, that's what Dr. Jeff said. He said, you can
No,
assume that you're pregnant.
Oh, he's just encouraging us, because yeah, we did the test and it said you can assume you're pregnant, but that's no like...
Oh, not confirmation. Sorry, that was the wrong word to use.
According to the Amazon test, you are pregnant. And you didn't even ask for proof. So, I don't know.
No, that's true.
Oh, do you know what's so sad about that glass straw you're using? I broke one today.
Really?
Yeah. It's not break-proof, it's shatter-proof, which it did. I mean, it didn't shatter, which is great.
Yes.
It's a cute, squiggly glass straw, and they're so fun to have.
So fun.
You actually think so?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I really like it too. No offense to the paper straws, but it broke and I'm a bit sad. But anyways, that was just a thought because you drank from that drink. And yeah, the next time that I mentioned where I ended up taking a test in a Starbucks cup, it was a paper Starbucks cup, not like the clear Starbucks cup. Was in the Starbucks Target in Orange County.
Oh yeah, thankfully it was paper. But yeah, in California.
I don't know why I didn't ask for a lid. I just went up to the guy and I said, hey, can I just have an empty cup? And he looked at me and he was like, sure. And you were paying for the test when I went to ask.
Yes.
And I was just so flustered and like stressed because we had a scare that I wasn't pregnant anymore. So we just wanted to do a test while we were on our trip. And Johnny grabs the pregnancy test and starts to open it at the checkout of the Target. And I watched that cashier look at you like, at least you paid, so you weren't stealing it. But it was really weird. Random man alone. Yeah, but a random man alone opening a pregnancy test was just so funny. And then I'm just standing there by the bathroom with my paper cup, no lid. And I didn't want to do it alone without you.
Yeah.
And wait in that bathroom.
So, yeah, well, we went to the parking lot. And
I had to walk my cup
dipped
out.
The test in. And yeah, walked out with the open lid cup of pee. It wasn't full. It wasn't sloshing around or anything, but it was pee.
Yeah, I should put a disclaimer. Talk about urine in this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, other than that, we were very excited, and long story short, it was a roller coaster of emotions. Lots of different things, different moments where we grieved, thinking something was wrong, but then would get a confirmation not too soon after. Is that what I meant?
Not too long after.
Not too long after.
Yeah, that was nice.
But at the time, I swear it feels like a long time. Even 48 hours feels like a long time when you think something's wrong or you feel like something's wrong. Either you're bleeding or you're cramping really oddly, or medical people literally tell you that you're not pregnant on forms. All of that can scare you a little bit, or you don't feel anything, you can definitely be scared. But I feel more reassured now because every week you go through is a higher percentage of your pregnancy coming to full term.
That's right.
So that's been very excited. We ended up telling people on the Montage team in person quite early. Yes. I don't know what like the number of weeks, the way the weeks work is also very strange because it starts when you had your last period. So I could tell you when I saw you really early on, if I met somebody and said, oh, I think I told like the flight attendant or something, I'm like, I'm pregnant. And if she asked me how many weeks, I would say, 6 weeks. And I actually had only been pregnant like 2 weeks.
Yes, but the
way they count it is...
You go back to that last menstrual period, the
Exactly.
LMP.
Did you make that up?
No, I've been listening to a book.
The dad book?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. They talk about that too?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. What's it called for anybody listening?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
It's on my
But it's
Audible.
for dads.
Yeah, there's not too many dad books on Audible. I'm sure there's lots of books for moms, but not as many for dads. So this one's pretty helpful. It goes through week by week what to sort of expect and look out for and how to be proactive and support your spouse.
Oh, wow, that's so
or
good.
your partner.
Maybe I'll link it. And then I also have been listening to, I think it's called Raising Bébé.
Oh yeah, cute.
the French way to raise your baby, and I'm listening to it and realizing I was just raised that way because that's just how my French parents are. But there are some things from there that I'm sure I'd want us to incorporate. I've been taking notes of the ones that I feel like resonate with us.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I hear a lot of different things about people our age on social media raising children who are crazy or who are iPad kids or who are dependent on certain things that I'm sure nobody intended to do when they were raising their kids. So we're probably going to do some things that we didn't mean to do.
Yeah, there's so many variables and
exactly
and things that are out of your control, but it's also a huge responsibility and a privilege to be parents, and we're looking forward to it. Of course, we're scared and we don't know what to expect, but we're up for it. We're here for it together, and we have good community. So, should we talk about who we told and how we, or not who we told, but how we told our community?
Yeah. So I was saying the Montage team, we ended up telling them at our conference, and that was a bit scary because it's so early on, and they don't recommend you tell people until a certain amount of weeks, and I was very far from that. But I was in the back, nauseous, eating a cheeseburger as this event was happening, and I purposely, not even planned, made myself not extremely involved in the front of the event. I hosted one panel and maybe did like one short announcement, but didn't want to MC the event, didn't want to have to be up front for very much. And then when we found out I was pregnant right before, it was perfect that it ended up being that way, that I didn't have to do too much talking in front of a large group of people. So as I was eating my cheeseburger in the back, I told Johnny, yeah, I do feel good. It was a good week. So that's something that I'm going to say is when you are kind of in this stage, there can be really good weeks and there can be really hard weeks. Like I mentioned, the couple days where you don't know something's wrong or when you're not having great symptoms is scary. But we felt really confident and good. And there was the adrenaline of this event being so fun and something we've always looked forward to.
Yeah, just to add to that, you did a great job, I thought, at delegating the tasks and making that conference really, really not just fun and like something that people would have wanted to go to, which they did, and lots of people who even missed out were like, oh, it looked so fun, and it was, but it was actually really helpful, and useful, and sparked some good conversations, and I think gave people a place to where they could belong and join if they hadn't heard about it, or just continue to participate in the Montage community. So I thought it was really a good time, and we had some really great speakers and great people helping, setting up days before, and painting backgrounds and all this stuff that went into it. It was awesome.
So much love and different support went into making this event happen, which is very special. And the whole thing is you can't get everything at once and give everybody what they want at once, but our goal was not to do that, or else we would do a full weekend event or something, a retreat, a conference, and that keeps going. But we wanted to spark conversations and spark a safe space, and then go from there. Make you feel like when you come to Montage things, we are going to be open, we are going to be real, we are going to make things cute and fun, even if the topics are awkward to talk about at first. But yeah, that was that event.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we ended up taking a picture and then saying, you said,
I said, everybody smile really big because Cece's pregnant. And
then the
exploded
emotions
and
exploded.
crying and laughing and
That was
hugging.
so
And it was
special.
cute.
And yeah, that was more special to me than a lot of even just announcing on social media. That took me a really long time to do and to feel comfortable doing. Obviously, I wanted to be with you when I would do that, and there were a couple of days where I was away or you were away and busy, and there are other days where I just had no energy whatsoever to reply to anything on a phone. So the thought of my phone buzzing out of love and intention was not exciting to me at all. So yeah, we'll maybe dive into that quickly of just how we told our close family right away and our immediate family who was here and told them in different cute ways. But I have watched videos of people who said the minute you see that positive test, you can tell whoever the heck you want, and that is so true. And I think you could do that if that is what you want. And then I also think you could not do that if that is not what you want. But it is true that if something happens, you will probably tell people at some point when you're comfortable.
If something bad happens, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then if something, not bad happens and you're able to continue in your pregnancy, then you will also tell people after. So it really depends, because the videos I watched, people were saying they're really lonely their first trimester. And that's because sad. We had told my team that volunteers and works with Montage, and we had told our community group, who we see every week, which is like our core group of friends that we purposely see every single week on the same night, which is a bit crazy. I know it sounds really crazy, but that's what we tried to do. I didn't feel like I was lonely, but I do see how somebody could feel lonely if they actually waited the full 13 or 14 weeks. That's a lot of weeks.
That's a lot of weeks to be holding in something that's so important and exciting or scary.
Yeah, it could be a beautiful time between you and your partner, or you and somebody you trust, but most of the videos I've seen, everybody's saying that they were lonely during that time. And I also joined like an app that had a group in it that you could post. Everybody who had like a similar due date to me was in this group and posting questions, and the amount of engagement that comes into this little like group forum on the baby center app or something. Cool, it's probably because everybody's lonely because you're not telling anybody at the beginning. Yeah,
exactly. It's a good outlet for people that are sort of acquaintances that you can connect with on that level of, we're all pregnant.
Yeah, I won't even say we're acquaintances. They're all strangers.
Oh yeah, strangers. Yeah, yeah.
It's just usernames. I don't even think I use my real name.
Right.
Which is funny. So that's why I didn't feel personally lonely, but I also was not even talking about it very frequently with the people that had known, because like I said, every few days would change. And
how you felt would change?
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt would change. And there are some people that I just, didn't see in person for a couple weeks, so they really weren't hearing updates, and everybody's just been so respectful with that. I saw them maybe at the conference, and then I was MIA for a while, which I told them might happen, depending on how I felt, and because I was pretty nauseous and drained.
Yes.
You just are so not ready for that exhaustion.
Yeah, I believe it.
So sleepy.
You were sleepy, and you powered through, but I think...
Yeah, I was able to work, and I gave so much at my work
unnatural to have to...
Yeah.
It's like...
Natural
it's
is
like...
the word.
Unnatural? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word. That's how I felt. I felt not like me, because I can usually get a couple tasks done in a day, plus work.
Yeah, and those are the little things that even you... It's important to recognize and acknowledge and mourn, like, your body's changing, your energy level's changing, the amount of time and energy you have to do some of the things you might have enjoyed before just can drastically change.
My tolerances change.
Your tolerances for food, for your patience, I thought you did a pretty good job, and you were never really changed who you were, which is nice. But that's out of a lot of people's control, and it's important. I've been hearing in the book, and thankfully I got a
With the
sense of
hormone
this too,
changes?
that you should not make your, whoever's pregnant, not make them feel like they are responsible for some of those sudden changes in their behavior, their emotions and energy, because so much of that is out of their control.
You can reel us back in though, a little bit.
Right, sure. No, really lovingly, and or make it, depending on the personality, just sort of make it kind of fun and make sure you laugh together, and don't be too serious in that early stage, because otherwise, especially if you're not sharing with as many people and you feel lonely, it's a special time that we liked to cherish and enjoy. We didn't do it maybe as in all the ways that we wanted to, but I think we did our best, and can look back on some really good memories of little trips we took or conversations we had, or just so many little reveals and announcements to different friends in person was really nice. And making the most of just being tired together and going on walks.
You spent a lot of time with me during my first trimester, which turned out to be sad because you broke a bone, but happy for me because I don't think I did a single dish. I don't think I did a dishes.
Possibly not.
I don't think I did a dishes.
Garbage.
And I don't really do much of the garbage to start, but
which I'm
there's
totally
no way
fine
that
doing.
smell I wouldn't have been okay with the
right,
compost
the smells,
or garbage smell. The dishes already gross me out a little bit, but the energy of moving a dish to a lower sink was already a lot for me. Because in the day I would have to drive and pull over and call you and say I'm gonna have to fall asleep here.
Yes, you did do that. I remember you calling me and saying, "Oh, I need to pull over and nap," or texting me at least.
I was so close to the house.
Well, that's good.
I didn't understand. I was so close.
Yeah, it's good not to overdo it, not to force yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a type A personality, make sure you try and let people help you where you can, because it's worth it to save your energy for other things.
Exactly, and I applaud people who work jobs in person full time during their first trimester.
Exactly. Sorry, yeah, you don't even have to be a type A personality to just have, responsibilities that that don't stop.
High capacity people or people who I have certain people in my life that I just know are very similar. They can do a lot in a day and do want to do a lot in a day and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And just know that it can change so fast when your hormones are imbalanced in any way. If it's not just pregnancy, it could just be how your menstrual cycle goes, the different weeks and things like that. But I was grateful that you were home for a lot of it, even though it wasn't ideal situations for you work-wise or for your hand. But yeah, it was nice to rest together also and just kind of soak it in. Like you said, we told people in person when we would see them, and if it just was a natural conversation or people would ask us, "Oh, do you guys want kids anytime soon?" And then Johnny or me would go, "Oh, we're actually pregnant right now." And that was really special because it was usually just a catch-up conversation and it was fresh, and we just haven't told many people, and we weren't really strict about not saying to everybody because we had told certain people already, but there was a lot that changed every week or two that made me go 2-3 weeks without telling a single person or talking about pregnancy because I didn't want to just cry all the time because I knew I didn't have an appointment yet for another week or so.
Yeah.
Or we would just book a random $40 appointment where you have to pay and ease my anxiety was also happening as well.
Yeah, we had the privilege of getting more ultrasounds than normally you would go in for.
Do those little heartbeat checks.
But it was really cute and really special and set our minds at ease a lot.
I even have a photo of the uterus before it
well, there's really much in it.
Anything. I'm that's so random to have.
It grew and expanded and it was ready to receive baby, to grow.
Yeah, it worked.
So, it's amazing.
And what else was I going to say about that? Yeah, I think if we had planned to, just did our own timeline of what this could look like, never in my life did I think I would be so private at the beginning of my pregnancy. Never did I think it would take me 4 months to be able to say something publicly, especially somebody who's documented so much of my life and shared really vulnerable moments in my life and all the different eras you would say that I've lived through. I didn't think this would be one that would take me so long to share, and I'm probably thinking it's because of stress, of anxiety, of using my energy to work, and also feeling like this was supposed to be my year to grow my career and be, I don't know, thriving and doing all these projects we had in mind or travel we had in mind, and then that changing much quicker than I expected. So just throw any plans you have for your whole life is my disclaimer.
Throw them?
Throw them away. You can plan like big picture. I've always wanted to be a mom, and I knew no matter what I'd make it happen. If that looked like adoption, if that looked like foster care, if that looked like if I wasn't married or anything. I don't know. I knew I had a way that I would become a mother, but I am glad I didn't have too strict of a plan. I just had kind of ideals because nothing happened the way I wanted it to.
Sorry, you had to have a husband and
No, I'm
do things the old-fashioned way. And...
No, I mean from the pregnancy. Like, people save clothes to put on their bed, like, to show their husband they're pregnant.
Oh,
and
you
film
mean
their
that.
reaction.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. Like, don't hold on to that because it's just so not that important and not unique if you're really set on that and disappointed. And then after that, imagine me 4 days later finding out, oh, maybe I'm not pregnant and not even be able to do anything. And then 1 day later thinking I have a miscarriage and actually mourning the loss of a child that I didn't even know yet. So that kind of stuff is not what I planned. If I were to want to go through that, or like not want to go through that, but if I had thought about it longer, I feel like I would have wanted to be something that happens later and you have time to actually mourn and to tell your people. We hadn't even told anybody yet. It was just so fast, and I feel like we didn't get to celebrate before I mourned, so that's probably you too, but you were sad too, but you're mostly taking care of me being sad in those moments, I would say. So yeah, just maybe don't stick too hard to what plans you have of what your life will look like. I also always thought I would have kids younger, and I'm so glad I didn't have kids younger.
Yeah.
We're already young.
We're young.
We're kids.
We're young still, but...
we literally look like teenagers sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone asked me if I go to Brookswood.
Yeah. The local high school. The last 4 months, I've had to reassure you because you said you felt like a potato. And...
yeah, I do feel like a
for
potato.
those who don't know what a potato is in this context...
potato?
Explain to them what your version of you're a potato means. Because sometimes I don't even know.
What a potato means?
Yeah.
No offense to the potato, but it's not the sexiest vegetable. Think about it.
It's what is it, round?
It can transform, but it's round, it's like a little bit dirty, it needs to clean, it needs to be freshened up to turn into crinkle fries or like curly fries or a hash brown. It's just sitting on the couch, being a potato, doing its thing. Sometimes they like rot a little bit, potatoes.
Oh, wow.
That's how I feel sometimes.
This is the real talk, the potato feelings.
Yeah, but I got ready twice during my whole pregnancy so far, so hey-o.
My wife is a serial she's humble, and she also she says when she's done things like twice or 4 times a month, even every week, she'll say I did it once last month.
You think I'm exaggerating?
Yeah, exaggerating. The opposite.
Have you seen the photos of me? We did the photo shoot one time. At the conference, I didn't get ready.
Sorry. Yeah.
I didn't do my hair, didn't do my makeup. And then the last time I got fully ready was our wedding. The last time I got fully ready was our wedding party. So that's 2 times. Isn't that sad?
Okay, we'll leave it there.
I think maybe in New York I tried to, but I didn't even have like all my makeup, so it didn't really happen.
Yeah, in New York, at least the potato shape turned into a more defined baby bump in New York for you.
That's true. I had a pop moment, which was really special for me to have a Montage launch in New York and be pregnant, because I never thought that all of that would happen at once, but I also was born in New York, so to think that I was also in the womb in New York and then brought my baby with me to the womb, in the womb, to New York was very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing I'll talk
the last
about
bit. Yeah.
is how to be a good friend to somebody who's pregnant. And like I said, I'm only in the middle of it. I'm sure I'll have things to say after I give birth, things that are very helpful. I've heard other moms talk about different meals being helpful or different ways you can love them or serve them be helpful. I gotta say, we have some amazing friends who literally would not even let me like lift a heavy box, and I'm like, I'm the most capable one in this room because Johnny had a broken arm, and they're like, but you are pregnant, so you can't, and I'd be like, okay, fine. So that's a good way you can help your pregnant friends, is remind them to get off their feet and that they don't have to do everything they were able to do before. Something else that, what should I say, that maybe bothered me was, oh, when people find out you're pregnant through somebody else.
Right.
Before it's announced. I think that was hard because we weren't super strict, but it just happened to catch me at the times when I was not in the mood to celebrate.
Yeah, and maybe just to add or for context there, I think you weren't upset or really mad. It's fine. It's going to happen that people find out accidentally. It's more
No,
so...
I was totally okay with people finding out.
Yeah, it's more so...
It's less work for us, to be honest.
When the thing that has been hard for us, or for you especially, is when somebody knows when they technically aren't, they weren't told in person. They're not necessarily supposed to know. Like we said, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not first-hand information, I guess.
And then they come either directly to you in a text or whatever, or in person and be like, oh, I think I know your secret or whatever, or I think I know you're pregnant. It just had left a kind of an awkward, kind of inconsiderate taste in your mouth, I guess. Is that what you'd say?
Yeah. And
it felt less personal.
And it's not even that. It was honestly the weeks that I really didn't want anybody to talk to me about my pregnancy.
Right.
Like, what are the odds, sadly, that someone is so happy for me, that somebody wants to call and talk about how I'm pregnant or wishes that they had known, and I already had a date and a list of people that I was planning to tell. Like, we had a note that we were excited to go through when the time was right, and we just kept adding people to that list and being like, okay, we'll make sure to call them or text them or say it to them in a personal way, and they would hear from somewhere else and be so excited
or offended
or offended or not trust that, hey, maybe I'm going through something, which I was, or maybe we just have not had the time, or maybe... And it was hard because we had to deal with family health stuff, we had to deal with my health stuff, we had to deal with you having...
not working.
A broken bone, not working, and our days, even though we both were home, were not really spent on our phone. They were really spent running errands, going to appointments, crying, and spending time together. So it was shocking to me when I received not just like 4 or 5, like a handful of different messages.
Yes, yeah, I didn't see those, but you fielded all those messages, and that must have been pretty, just overwhelming in a time that you were already had your hands and your heart full of other things going on.
And I feel bad because what am I supposed to say to people who are so happy for you? And I was happy deep down, but in the moment, it's hard to burst somebody's bubble and be like, oh wait, hold up, like, things aren't looking very good right now, or, to be completely honest, I've been bleeding the last week, and that's really bad. So it's interesting how, if I was on the other side, I don't know if I'd personally message somebody myself, but maybe if I saw them in person, I would say, oh, like, I heard the news, congratulations, or something.
Yeah.
And that's shocking, because you're like, oh, I would have told you, honestly, in the next 10 minutes, were things good? Is that proper English? If things were better, I probably would have told you in the next 10 minutes. But because I didn't, this whole conversation, that probably means I wasn't in a good place to tell anybody.
And we say that knowing that we wouldn't, and no one can always control or manipulate when the best time is going to be. However, I remember you saying a few times that you were kind of sad that or the reason why you didn't necessarily want to have those conversations with people that kind of found out early or at an awkward time was that that sort of pressure you were feeling to have the reaction that they would be that they would be expecting, and that kind of would be satisfying for them and for you, for that to be enjoyable and celebrating, when in fact you were just, that day or that week for different reasons kind of in the opposite headspace of like, oh, I'm really unsure about this, or I'm really not feeling myself, or I don't look good or feel good. And they couldn't have known, but maybe just that's our tip.
That's our tip.
For consideration is just be authentic and don't feel like you have to tread on eggshells, but also just be extra considerate with some of the comments, and if you can be patient and hold on and wait. It's always better to wait till Christmas morning to get those Christmas presents opened.
That's good. Yeah, and people who love you will tell you, and they'll be excited.
Otherwise you got to pretend like you're excited day of, which we all have done that, but it kind of bursts the bubble a bit.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it's crazy that the people, like I said, when we told people at the conference who were there, I was in a very positive, happy place.
Yeah.
Things were really good that week. We had just heard a heartbeat the day before or something like that. Like really, actually, yeah. I think it was 2 days before we had heard a healthy heartbeat. So,
yeah, it was so
everything
cute.
felt really great, and that's why I reacted in a way that I was, genuinely happy about. I was able to cry with my friends, hug my friends, have the energy. And after that, not until like 2 weeks ago that I feel, at that place where I was like, yes, for sure, I feel good, and I can be happy with you. And like you said, wait for Christmas morning. And if a social media post to you is the Christmas morning where somebody announces that they're pregnant, don't say you knew in the comments.
That's right.
I probably blocked everybody who said that, or not blocked, I just deleted the comments for everybody who said that. Because like I said, I felt like a potato.
Yeah.
And if you showed signs, or if I showed signs that I came across as pregnant when I only posted things from the past, so there's really no way, like the content I was posting, I was not pregnant, I must have just been bloated and had pasta.
Oh no, yeah.
So people telling me like, oh, I saw you had a bump on this photo, blah, 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 in this story, and I'd be like,
that's the classic.
Buddy, I was just bloated.
The classic party foul of calling out a woman being pregnant when she's actually not.
Never do that, because you don't know what they're going through, and I swear it was food.
Yeah.
It was, we hadn't even tried then. Like some of the content that went up late, I'm just late at posting, and I'm okay with that because it gives me time to think and to write or to edit and live in the moment. But
yeah,
it was just funny. It was just funny because I wasn't trying to do any teasers. I wasn't trying to have a slow rollout. It was, sorry, Johnny, I know we said maybe today we'd post, but I don't feel good, so like let's wait a little bit longer. And I said this before, but nobody reads a comment where someone says I knew and goes, that person's great.
They're a great friend. Yeah.
They're a great friend. They must know them really well. Like none of my friends who knew right away commented that. They were happy and they were excited, and I think that's important.
And there's people that are from, different generations and have different styles of expressing stuff. That's fine. We don't mean to talk, bad about that too much, but just from what
I'm giving my disclaimer of how I feel, and I've talked to other moms who feel this way.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe after I'm pregnant, I'll apologize for how it's coming out. But as of right now, this is for you, because everybody's been posting engagements and pregnancies these days. It's insane. I just think learning to be happy for somebody's season is a really good skill to have. Mm-hmm. And I think we've kind of nailed that now. It has to come with growing up. It has to come with being grateful for what you have, because I get really excited when people buy a big house. I get excited when people get a new car. I get excited when people achieve something, graduate, and I'm no longer in a place where I'm like, oh, that's so sad, I want that.
Oh yeah.
Because
you can celebrate with them.
There's very specific situations where that obviously could happen for people, but being able to mourn not having that, but also be very excited for them and not have to talk in a comment and be like, well, I knew this, or not have the excitement and the celebration with that person to go alongside with them is going to hurt you more than the other person, because that other person will move on and continue. But if you're able to go alongside people, and we know some people do this really, really well. They have been waiting for children, or to be able to buy a home, or to be able to do this, but circumstances come up, and they are still such great supporters of people who have a lot of the things that they unfortunately just cannot have right now. And same with us, like we are now in a place where we're able to come alongside people in their different stages of life and be happy for them. So.
Yeah, that's a special gift that we have now, just getting to be in this stage of having, we're so young, but now we've got some experience behind us of getting pregnant and telling people, and so that's just part of why we wanted to share a bit about the story and the tips and the experience. And I hope it's helpful and enjoyable or entertaining a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just an hour chat with us.
Yeah, we're going to go to bed.
That's true. Well, I have to watch maybe an episode of Traitors, and then I'll go to bed. Because I kind of want to eat a lava cake. And
true.
Like you said, I'm pregnant. There's no rules, right?
No, dessert is any time of the day, and snacks.
Snacks have been saving me. Cold drinks and snacks. This is not a good episode on just like what's typical for a first trimester and a half. It's more just, our life experiences recently and thoughts. But snacking a lot has helped. These new medications I'm on have helped. Cold drinks have helped. So if you want to go out with your friend for a cold drink, but also give them grace if they can only do like half an hour of social interaction, then that's, remember that. Also, some people thrive when they're pregnant, and unfortunately that's not me. Your mom thrived. Like, a lot of people I've talked to have said, I felt really great when I was pregnant. Like, everything just kind of felt more balanced in my life. And I said, I'm ready to give birth tomorrow if I have to.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified of birth, so that says a lot.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be worth it. I'm excited for everybody to be auntie and uncles to our little baby.
That's right.
Our baby boy. Do you want to say quickly before we end the episode how you found out it was a boy, or what did we end up doing? There's a video. People can watch the video.
Oh yeah, we had our 16-week ultrasound, which is not one that you normally get scheduled. We just sort of did it for our own benefit, and turned out he was able to find the gender out with a confident enough amount of accuracy, he said. And so we went with it, and we actually gave the little paper envelope that had the gender of the baby to our teenage friend, shout out Kiara, who was finishing up her shift at her Chinese food restaurant with her other high school friend, and they together made this really cute reveal of
so cute.
A fortune cookie that they colored blue, the thing inside. So when we opened it up together the next morning, inside of the cookie, which was inside a little takeout box, we found out together that it was a boy. And that was on my birthday, actually, so that was really nice.
Yeah, they pulled that together really, really fast, because we had just gotten home. You had to go somewhere, and I said, shoot, right. I knew she was wanting to do something cute for the gender reveal for us.
Yeah.
But she was working, and I didn't want to know without you, so they really came through, because I thought this is either going to be so cute and a great story, or this is going to be absolutely terrifying to trust 17-year-olds with my ultrasound of my child. But luckily,
it worked out.
Yeah, luckily they did amazing, and the back said boy, so it wasn't like they had to guess just from the photo.
Yeah, the photo was not easy to determine.
The photo was not helpful, yeah. So.
Yeah, unless you're like an ultrasound technician or a doctor.
Yeah, I even sent it to our sister-in-law, who's an ultrasound tech, and she was like, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
Boy, but you never know.
Yeah.
People make mistakes.
Like we said, in 2 weeks at the 20-week ultrasound from now,
we'll hit you guys up with the confirmation.
We'll confirm.
Yeah. But thank you so much for listening to our long episode, and thank you for just being part of our community and the episodes that are coming up are going to be on very specific topics, and they're also going to be panels with people about specific questions, and you're going to get to meet our team, our friends, our ambassadors, and yeah, I didn't insert my little shout out in here, but I will say it now that one of our favorite partners to work with is Oxio Internet, and we just moved actually, a place with natural sunlight, which I'm really excited about. It's actually been really good to work from home, I would say, the last 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Of just me
I'm
being
glad. Yeah.
Yeah, me being
so
alone.
much brighter, so much more. You just have more energy, and you feel better when it's not dark
It's
and
a mental health move
depressing.
where we moved.
And your laundry is in suite, and
yeah, we're living the luxury life now.
taller
Have
ceilings.
laundry.
It's really nice in here.
Have laundry that we don't have to pay for with coins or go upstairs and fight with people for it. No, we love the laundry and room interactions. It felt like a TV show where we used to live.
In the last place, yeah.
Yeah, but now we're changing things up because we're parents, and yeah, switching our internet was super easy. If you're a Canadian listener, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out Oxio. I'll link it below, because not only are their prices so much cheaper, they're very transparent and very open, just like we have tried to be in this episode. And moving with Oxio was really nice. I actually did a horrible job at even telling them we were moving, because it happened so fast.
It did, yeah.
And their team was did not make me feel bad at all. I kept apologizing, and it was a real human on the other side of the conversation who told me, "Don't worry, we're gonna make it work. We got you. Plug this in, do this. Here are the steps." So,
and it worked.
One day without internet was already so annoying, and that was my own fault. I didn't plug it in or make it work. That I realized I'm so grateful for how amazing the pricing is, how transparent they are. And if you are moving out, or if you want to convince your family to switch, we recommend you give it a try, because you can do it for free with a code, and then you can keep getting internet for free if you refer other people. So no need to be a major influencer. You can just refer people and get months and months of free internet. And that's been working great for us. Sure. Is it okay?
Yeah, there's some sediment in the bottom of that sleepy time drink.
Sorry. Time for sleepy for you. Okay, love you guys so much.
Bye.